is known that the fall of a capital into the hands of an opposing party in a conflict signifies the defeat of the party that owns the capital. This surrender is often announced due to the political, strategic, moral, cultural, and historical significance that the capital holds for the people of any country worldwide. However, a peculiar occurrence took place at the end of World War II. Despite possessing the atomic bomb, the most powerful weapon known at the time, the United States chose to bomb the cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, while sparing Tokyo, the capital of the Japanese Empire that housed the palace of Emperor Hirohito and other significant governmental facilities. This raises the question, what was the reason behind America's decision not to bomb Tokyo and eradicate the Emperor of Japan along with the ruling family? The answer to this question can be divided into three categories: political reasons, strategic reasons, and scientific reasons. Politically, the United States refrained from bombing Tokyo because their objective was not to completely annihilate Japan and cause its collapse, but rather to force Japan's surrender and establish it as an allied power after World War II. This was in order to counter the Soviet Union's influence in the Pacific region and protect American interests. American intelligence was aware that Emperor Hirohito and some Japanese leaders had begun contemplating the use of the Soviet Union as a mediator to negotiate a ceasefire and explore the possibility of surrendering under specific conditions. Additionally, the United States knew that certain military leaders vehemently opposed any notion of surrender and were determined to fight until the end. Even after the atomic bombs were dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and after Emperor Hirohito agreed to an unconditional surrender, over 600 officers and approximately 18,000 soldiers, led by Major Kenji Hatanaka, made a failed attempt to arrest the emperor, seize power, and declare their refusal to surrender, vowing to continue the fight. This failed coup, known as the Kyojo Incident, occurred just hours before Japan officially announced its surrender on August 15, 1945. The unsuccessful revolt resulted in the suicide of the leading officers. Therefore, the United States recognized the importance of preserving the emperor's influence, given his revered status among the Japanese people, as he was the only one capable of persuading both the populace and the military to surrender. Furthermore, the United States intended to negotiate with Emperor Hirohito regarding Japan's role as an allied power after its surrender. Strategically and militarily, the United States understood the devastating power of the atomic bomb and carefully selected specific cities for targeting. This ensured maximum impact and created an element of shock and awe, not only within Japan but also across the globe, particularly aimed at the Soviet Union. It was a means of demonstrating American superiority and establishing itself as the dominant power in the post-war era. Bombing Tokyo, the capital, would not have served any significant strategic purpose. On the contrary, it would have been a wasteful expenditure of billions of dollars, time, and the immense effort invested by the United States and its allies in developing the atomic bombs. Most of Tokyo's area was already devastated and in ruins. Starting in 1942, the United States commenced aerial bombings on Japanese territory, and Tokyo, in particular, experienced numerous devastating air raids with incendiary bombs. The most destructive of these raids occurred on March 10, 1945, when 279 American B-29 bombers dropped approximately 1,665 tons of napalm bombs, white phosphorus incendiary bombs, and conventional bombs on the capital. The ensuing firestorm engulfed a significant portion of the city, resulting in around 130,000 deaths, 1 million injuries, over 1 million displaced individuals, and the destruction of more than 267,000 buildings. This raid, known as the most devastating in human history in terms of casualties and destruction in a single day, surpassed the death toll caused by both the Hiroshima and Nagasaki atomic bombs combined. Tokyo was already reduced to ashes, and an atomic bombing would not have brought about any novel outcomes. Hence, American military leaders decided to choose cities that had not yet been targeted or bombed, ensuring the full impact of the two atomic bombs would be evident. Hiroshima was chosen because of its high population density and the presence of military-industrial facilities, ports for ships, communication centers, and storage of equipment and weapons. It also housed the headquarters of the Japanese Second Army, responsible for protecting southern Japan. Furthermore, the city's geographical nature, including surrounding hills and mountains, would concentrate the force of the explosion inward, increasing the destructive power of the atomic bomb. As for Nagasaki, it was included as a target instead of Kyoto, the ancient capital of Japan, at the request of U.S. Secretary of War Henry Stimson. Stimson had a personal connection to Kyoto, having visited the city and spent his honeymoon there. Recognizing its immense cultural, civilizational, religious, and historical significance for the Japanese people, Stimson asked President Harry Truman to remove Kyoto from the target list. Nagasaki was an ideal target for atomic bombing, much like Hiroshima, as it remained untouched by previous bombings and retained its full strength. It boasted a substantial military seaport and served as one of Japan's largest centers for manufacturing and maintaining warships. Additionally, it housed facilities for producing ammunition and missiles specifically designed for naval vessels. From a scientific standpoint, the selection of cities that hadn't been previously bombed was crucial. The atomic bombs were entirely new weapons, and the United States had produced two types, the uranium-235 bomb and the plutonium-239 bomb. Choosing Hiroshima and Nagasaki allowed scientists to measure the actual destructive power of each bomb independently and study the effects of atomic radiation on humans, plants, and animals in the bombing areas with precision. If Tokyo had been targeted with atomic bombs, distinguishing the destruction caused by the atomic explosions from the intense aerial bombardment the city had already experienced would have been challenging. This would have hindered scientists' ability to accurately assess the impact of atomic weapons and could have led to conflicting and inaccurate reports. Hiroshima was bombed on August 6, 1945, with a uranium-235 bomb, nicknamed Little Boy, while Nagasaki was bombed on August 9 with a plutonium-239 bomb, nicknamed Fat Man. Thorough studies and research conducted after the bombings revealed that the plutonium bomb dropped on Nagasaki was more powerful and destructive than the uranium bomb dropped on Hiroshima.